Hi, Megha.
Hello, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Megha.
And welcome to our Pranayam orientation session. Thank you everyone for joining us. And as we start today, a little bit, I see some people who really are not introduced to Ami Yoga. So let me just introduce ourselves while we start. So Ami Yoga is a very old organization, 35 years old, and earlier known as Yoga Sadhana Kendra. Over the years, it has been teaching in Chembur, Mumbai, and lot of people, more than 35,000 people have benefited from the practices of Ami Yoga. Both asana, pranayam, meditation, relaxation practices. So different things that we do in class for all age groups. We have a team of about 40 teachers. And we also have our founder here today, Mrs. Usha Karnik. Usha Karnik has been the inspiration behind our classes. And she has actually laid down a very strong foundation for these classes, which is the tradition we today continue in. Ami Yoga conducts many different workshops, neuro yoga programs. Some of you have attended those, and also were regular yoga classes. Let me just also introduce you to my colleague here, Sushma. So Sushma, she is a teacher with us, conducting many workshops, very experienced and long-term practitioner of yoga, and with a good in-depth understanding of the subject, especially the subject of pranayam, meditation, chakras. Many of you would have seen her in the chakra and the mudra workshop. I am Megha Dhargarkar, and I head Ami Yoga, and for the last many years now, long-term practitioner of yoga, following the Bihar School of Yoga. Basically, I'm a BPharm and an MBA. And after 26 years in corporate life, I left that and reverted completely 100% dedicated to yoga. So let's come to today's workshop. The way we are going to take that is I'll do a little bit of explanation, and then we will have a few practices just to give you an idea of what the workshop is going to be about. And then at the end, we will also take your questions. So first question always comes is, why especially a pranayam meditation workshop? Maybe some of you have come out of curiosity. Some of you have come because you have experienced the benefits of pranayam meditation. And some of you also are maybe here because your doctor at some time said, well, pranayam meditation is very good for you. Why don't you try that? And so out of the belief that this will heal and cure, you are here to attend this orientation. So pranayam meditation, this workshop is going to be, I would say 70% pranayam, 25 to 30% meditation. So the large emphasis is on pranayam. And the reason large emphasis is on pranayam is because this breathing practice itself automatically takes you to a stage of meditation. We don't really have to do something different to take you into meditation. It naturally happens, and you will get to experience that as you do this workshop. Always there is a concern and a question. Can I sit for 1 hour doing only pranayam practice, and will I be able to even sit like that? So we do help you to stretch, and a few asanas are taken so that the body is all ready and energized to do pranayam practice. So why pranayam? This is the first question. Well, pranayam has a lot of benefits, and let's look at the really physical benefits of these practices. When you look at pranayam practices, especially in today's times, see, earlier we were all doing maybe 10 minutes of pranayam, little bit of pranayam, feeling good about what we did. But the pandemic changed our approach to breathing and the pranayam practices. Because right breathing itself, it enhances the immunity, it expands our lung capacity, it allows us to deal with different illnesses in a much better manner. Not only that, when you are breathing right, your whole system is filled with health and wellness much better than if you are not breathing right. So this whole process of deep breathing and pranayam, it has a very, very high impact on our physical bodies, physical health. Now, all over last year, I think pandemic has gone on now for almost 2 years. And suddenly we saw a lot of discussion on the subject of nitric oxide. People were manufacturing nitric oxide sprays to enhance immunity, increase bronchodilation, increase the lung capacity. Pranayam practice naturally gives you bronchodilation. It naturally gives you nitric oxide production. And this nitric oxide production, which is brought about, especially with practices like Brahmari, it increases your immunity tremendously. You don't need to look for an artificial spray of nitric oxide to enhance this whole immunity quotient. It can happen naturally with the nitric oxide that your body is able to produce. So these are some of the physical benefits of pranayam and meditation. Now we come to the mental benefits. Well, all of us at some point have experienced a lot of anxiety in our minds. In these last couple of years, maybe to the point of even panic attacks. This is something we had frequent issues about, and people talking a lot about this. And that is when we started these pranayam meditation classes. So these sessions help you calm down the mind, settle the mind, develop a more balanced approach towards life, which is much more holistic. They build a contentment within you from inside. You are not all the time looking out for external factors to have that contentment. There is a feeling of shantata, peace, and a deep contentment within which develops. Why does it develop? Well, when your breathing is right, that breath enhances many other factors. In yoga, breath is considered the bridge between the body and the mind. And when that breathing is enhanced, it is really put into the right perspective in the right way, its efficiency increases. Automatically, your ability to calm down, settle the mind, deal with everyday problems, find creative solutions through the increased clarity of the mind. All this increases with the pranayama and meditation practices. Having said that, there is one more aspect to the practices we are going to do, and that is the aspect of spirituality. Many of us here, we are old-time practitioners and all the time in search of something more through yoga, getting to a better depth, getting to a better understanding. And that is what pranayama and meditation does actually. It enhances our whole journey on this path of spirituality. It helps us to understand ourselves better. It develops a much heightened awareness about ourselves, our surroundings, our abilities to deal with others, our reactions and responses to different situations. So these are all the many benefits at a physical level, at a mental level, and at a spiritual level that you will have from pranayam and meditation practice, and what you can expect from this whole workshop. Now coming to this workshop itself, what we are going to teach you in this workshop. Actually, many times we practice pranayam. Maybe we are doing a regular yoga class or we are doing our own practice. And it is not more than a 7 to 10 minute practice. Because pura asan kar lete hain and then we feel, okay, thoda sa breathing karna chahiye, so we do that. Now, this course is going to be focused on that pranayam and meditation. And you will learn right from the basics. Because what we have seen, sometimes we are practicing asana pranayam for a long time, but still we are making tiny mistakes, which do not allow us to enhance our whole practice. And this becomes very critical because let us understand, breath is a very delicate process in the body. Manipulation of breath is what we are doing through pranayam. So although it looks, sometimes people feel, oh, I can't do asanas, but I can do pranayam. It is not like that. Pranayam is a step advanced beyond the asanas. And therefore, when you are practicing pranayam, doing the right technique, even for a basic pranayam, that becomes extremely important. So we will be focusing on the techniques. Many times there is a question that online, how you will be able to see our practices. Well, we will give you exact instructions repeatedly, and there will be a lot of revision of the practices. So with that, we are sure you will do the pranayam practice correctly. Things that you are otherwise not aware of, you will get aware of when you are doing the pranayam. Secondly, and I can see a lot of teachers also on this group, we teach you many variations of pranayam. For example, we don't even realize, but something like Kapalbhati has 6 different variations, maybe more. So we take you through those different variations of practices. In each of the pranayams, different kinds of variations are taken. Sometimes people ask, why so many variations? Is it not enough to do one pranayam? Well, human mind is always in lookout of some variety. Okay. When you keep doing the same thing for some time, it feels good. And secondly, our bodies are all made differently. So they adapt to different practices also very differently. And when you do a particular variation of a pranayam, maybe sometimes something just clicks. Oh, wow, this is a very good pranayam for me. Let me do more of this practice. So that really is the focus of your pranayam and meditation practice here. Many, many different variations will be taken. One question we are asked many times is, well, are you going to take advanced practices of pranayam? Well, let me define what advanced practices of pranayam mean actually. See, pranayam is not the inhalation and the exhalation of breath. That is actually a preparation for the holding of breath. And advanced really means taking a simple practice and keeping on increasing the time for which you can hold your breath, which is kumbhak, the holding of breath. And as we get more comfortable with our practices, deeply rooted into our practices, it is possible to increase this holding time. Why this holding time is so important? Well, this kumbhak is really the magic of pranayam. The more you hold that kumbhak, the more you stay with that holding the breath, the more your body learns to use the oxygen which is available. And in Bahya Kumbhak, stay without the oxygen which is available also, and use it in a very optimized manner. And that itself is a very great progress in the process of pranayam. Now, holding breath, believe me, holding breath itself is quite a dangerous proposition unless you know how to do it really well and it is slowly progressive. So the idea is not to just go about holding your breath. It needs to happen in a regular, easy manner. Ease of practice is going to be the mantra for all our meditation and pranayam practices. And that is what we are going to focus on as we do the practices. So, well, that was a little bit of introduction to the pranayam workshop. And with this, let us start with one very basic thing. We just want to firstly develop some awareness of our breathing. So, what we are going to do is we will measure our breath rate. How we measure our breath rate? Breathing in and breathing out is one breath. I'm going to put on the stopwatch for a period of 1 minute. And in this 1 minute, you are going to measure your breath. Breathing in, breathing out is one breath. And just feel those breaths, count those breaths, and make a note of those breaths at the end of 1 minute. So let's all get ready to measure our breathing rate. Sit up straight. Just focus on your breathing. This is normal breathing, not deliberately slowing down, not holding your breath, just the normal breath. Get ready to measure your breath. We'll be measuring for 1 minute. Start. Remember, breathing in and out is one breath. stop measuring your breath rate, and whatever breath you measured, either keep it in your mind or write it down somewhere, because we are going to compare this breathing rate at the end of this session today. Sushma will be taking up your breathing rate again, and then we'll request you to post both your breathing rates before session and after session. So that we ourselves compare what happens to our breathing rate with pranayam practice. And today, actually, we are doing very little of the pranayam practice. So before we do anything further, just now you only did the activity of measuring your breath. Okay, the breathing rate, seeing the breath in and out. Now we are going to do a small practice of observing our breath. So when we say observing, what are we going to observe? Many things. The depth of our breathing, the rhythm of our breathing, the smoothness of our breathing. Well, if you observe your breath really carefully, you might even be able to see a color to your breath. You know, in yoga, breathing is not just considered oxygen intake and carbon dioxide expulsion. It is considered as the exchange and expansion of pranic energy within. And this prana in yoga is considered a life force. What do you mean by that? Something that not only runs the physical aspects of your body, it runs your mental aspects, and it is very Sushma. That means very subtle. So it also overpowers or overlooks your spiritual aspects. So let's try and observe our breath very, very carefully. Sit in a comfortable meditative posture, either cross-legged or on a chair. The spine erect, the eyes closed. Relax the whole body as you sit up. Relax the facial muscles. Let go of the shoulders, neck. Release any discomforts in the hands and legs. Feel the whole body relax completely. Now, become aware of your breathing. Observe its speed. Does it feel too fast, too slow? Observe its rhythm. Is it rhythmic, arrhythmic? Sometimes deep, sometimes shallow. Is it slightly interrupted or smooth? Observe the depth of your breathing. If possible, observe the color of your breath. Gently bring the awareness back to your body. Awareness of your surroundings. Rub your palms together. Spread all the warm energy across your face, forehead, and eyelids. So what we did just now was really take breathing to the level of a short meditation, trying to observe our breath, trying to feel it much more deeply. And actually in this workshop, we will be making friends with our breath. Making friends means what? Getting to know intimately the breath. When we become friends with our breath, there is more harmony within. Breath harmonizes, and as a result, the physical aspects of our health also harmonize themselves. Well, with that, let us get ready for a couple of breathing practices. All of you can stand up on your mats. These are preparatory breathing practices we do before we actually start pranayam practice. So we can all stand at the back of our mats, the feet together. Just make sure the whole body is aligned. The shoulders are dropped down, hands by the side of the body. Now, although this is a physical practice, we are going to do it as a breathing practice. So keep your awareness on your breath. So we will start with the simple practice of Tadasana. Breathing in, we take our heels and our hands up. And breathing out, we bring the heels and the hands down. So this is the practice. Try and keep yourself steady by focusing at a point in front of you. Interlocking the fingers in front gives a lot more steadiness. You can push the palms out, give a good stretch forward. Then place the back of the palms on the head. Focus at one point, become aware of your breathing. Slowly breathing in, raise your hands up, heels up. Hold breath up a little bit. Breathe out, heels down, hands down. We repeat this a few times, breathing in, heels up, hands up. Hold breath a little. Breathe out, hands down, heels down. Breathe in, feel the breath energy moving through your spine upwards to the head. Breath settling in the head. Slowly breathing out, heels down, hands down. Another 2 times on your own. Breathe in. Out. Last round as per your own capacity. Feel the whole practice, preferably through your spine. Breathe out and release your hands. Just close your eyes. Feel the practice within. So what we did just now was a longitudinal expansion of our lungs. See, in Tadasana, we move the spine up and we extend the spine. And along with that, we also expand our lungs longitudinally upwards. And this increases our breathing capacity as well. Most of the time we do Tadasana as an asana and we do not even realize that this lung capacity is actually increasing with the practice of Tadasana. So right now we did a longitudinal expansion of the lungs. Now let's do a horizontal expansion of the lungs. So for this, what we are going to do is stretch our hands out in front. You can observe the practice once and then we do it all together. Breathe in, take the hands apart, take the head back. Breathing out, we bring the head to the center, hands to center. This will be our practice. Let's all start. Stretch your hands forward, palms facing each other. Again, center yourself. Breathe in. Take the hands apart, head back. Breathe out, head to center, hands to center. Again, breathing in, hands apart, head back. Breathe out, head to center, hands to center. See if you can slow down with every round. Breathing in. Breathe out. 2 more rounds on your own, as slowly, comfortably as possible. Try to look into your lungs and feel the practice as you do it. Feel the pranic energy flowing through your body. Complete your practice. Release your hands. Closing your eyes, just feel the after effect of the practice. Simple breathing practice, which expanded our lungs horizontally this time. So we expanded our lungs horizontally, increasing our breathing capacity. The first time we extended the lungs longitudinally. So a couple of breathing practices like this help us get ready for the practice of actual pranayam. And they just center ourselves and settle ourselves down to actually practice pranayam. So with that, I will hand over the session to Sushma. Sushma, all yours.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. So we started with the preparatory practices, just getting us into the feel of our breath, understanding our breath. Let's now go on to practice a very well-known practice, which is called as Kapalbhati. So what does Kapalbhati mean? Kapala, the word means the forehead, or it could also mean the frontal brain. And Bhati means to shine. Now, the practice of Kapalbhati is traditionally considered as a kriya or a cleansing practice. It works to clean your lungs, your frontal sinus area. It also works to clear the frontal brain. And hence, it is considered as a kriya. But we follow the Bihar school of yoga. And according to the Bihar school of yoga, Kapalbhati is not only a kriya which helps you to prepare for the practices of pranayam, but it itself can be considered as a pranayam because we have a huge variety of Kapalbhati, which of course we will be practicing in the coming sessions of the workshop. About 6 to 7 varieties of different types of Kapalbhati. So Kapalbhati is both a kriya, a preparatory practice, as well as a pranayam. To understand Kapalbhati, we should first know the normal way that we actually breathe. So if you put your, hand on your abdomen and just keep your eyes closed for a few moments and observe your breath, ideally, as you breathe in, your abdomen expands, bulges out. And as you breathe out, with the exhalation, you can feel the abdomen moving inwards. This is called abdominal breathing, and this is the correct way to breathe. A gentle expansion or pushing out of the abdomen as you breathe in, and a gentle recoil caving in of your abdomen as you breathe out. Observe it for a couple of more rounds. Now, when we breathe normally, you will observe there is a active inhalation. You may just put in a little effort to inhale, but the exhalation, the breathing out, is quite passive. It kind of happens on its own. In Kapalbhati, what we do is we reverse this process. We make an active exhalation by pulling our abdomen in a gentle stroke. So you pull your abdomen inwards to exhale a little forcefully, and as the abdomen recoils, comes back to its position, the inhalation is passive or automatic. So you don't have to worry, okay, I'm exhaling a bit forcefully, then what happens about my inhalation? The body is made beautifully in such a way that the moment the abdomen comes back to its position, it's a passive, automatic inhalation. So that is the concept behind Kapalbhati, an active exhalation stroke. The stroke comes from the abdomen by just gently pulling your abdomen inwards. And the inhalation is automatic. Now, what happens as we give these strokes in Kapalbhati? That creates a pressure in your frontal sinuses, in the whole head region, which helps to expel out any impurities, any kind of dirt, dust that is there. So it helps to clear out your sinuses. And that's why the major physical benefit of Kapalbhati is, a better respiratory system, because not only the frontal sinuses, even your lungs expel out any kind of impurities, any kind of phlegm, helps to, come out of your lungs easily. Other than that, Kapalbhati also works on your abdominal area because of the abdominal stroke that you give. It helps to massage the entire abdominal area. It's actually working on your frontal brain, and that's why it gives you a great clarity of thought also as you practice Kapalbhati. It makes you very alert. So let's try to practice this Kapalbhati now, understanding what we should do and what we shouldn't do during the practice. Though it being a very, very famous practice, there are a lot of mistakes that are made while doing Kapalbhati. First and foremost, you have to sit in a nice, comfortable cross-leg posture with your palms on your knees. For any reason you're not able to sit on the floor or cannot sit comfortably within a cross-leg position, you can sit on a chair, but do not sit with your legs stretched out in Kapalbhati, but that puts an undue pressure on your abdomen and does not allow the abdomen to move freely with the strokes. The second important thing about Kapalbhati is that I may have now demonstrated it a little louder for you so that you could understand the stroke. But very often people do it with a very much of force and a lot of noise, and you feel, oh, that is the correct way and it will effectively expel out all the things. But making this kind of noise from your nostrils is not right. The subtler the Kapalbhati, the softer the Kapalbhati, that's the correct way to do Kapalbhati. Because as we just heard from Megha, our breath is very, very subtle. Our whole respiratory system is so very delicate. And while breathing out in these very, very jerky and movements, we will only be harming our lungs and the whole respiratory system. So gentle strokes with the minimum noise from the nostrils. That is how we are going to practice Kapalbhati. So let's get ready for the practice of Kapalbhati. Sit in a comfortable cross-leg pose, keeping your palms on your knees, back straight, shoulders relaxed. This pose helps you to practice correctly. Gentle inward strokes of the abdomen, exhaling out. Inhalation is passive and automatic. You can go around with my counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We practiced one round of 25 strokes. We went slow because there are different kinds of people and we do not know your medical backgrounds. And this is a safe practice with just 25 strokes. So let's practice one more round of Kapalbhati in the same way. Active exhalation with the gentle pulling in of your abdomen. Palms on your knees, back straight, eyes closed, get involved in the practice. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Keeping your eyes closed. Just observe your breath. You can actually feel a slight slowing down of your breathing after Kapalbhati. Slowly open your eyes. You can just stretch your legs out and relax. So Kapalbhati has a lot of mental benefits also. It helps you to empty out your mind, and therefore you can think much more clearly after practicing Kapalbhati. We will be going into much more detail in the workshop with Kapalbhati, practicing different variations. And as Megha said, each variation, goes with a different body type, a different mental constitution. And, you feel, oh, yes, I like this kind of variation. It works beautifully for me, and you can practice that. And of course, yes, with the variety, we all enjoy our practices more. With that, let's move on to the next practice for the day, and that is Bhramari Pranayama. The word Bhramara means the bee, and Bhramari is the Hummingbird Pranayama. Now, in this pranayama is so called because as you exhale, we make the sound of the humming bee. Now, why is Bhramari so important? It is a tranquilizing pranayama. As you practice Bhramari, it is one of the pranayams that can be practiced easily because it's a simple pranayam, can be practiced easily by most people, and the effects are really profound. Bhramari on a physical level, helps to, elevate the throat problems, the cardiac problems, gives a lot of healing properties to the body. The whole body can heal very quickly when you practice Bhramari. Now, the reason for this is because of the production of nitric oxide. While all pranayams help in the production of nitric oxide, Bhramari is a pranayam where the production is almost 15 times more than the normal production. Why is that so? Because when you practice Bhramari, there's a vibration that is created in the whole head area, and nitric oxide is maximum produced in our nasal membranes. And this vibration of Bhramari enhances the whole production of nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, as we know, works as a bronchodilator, vasodilator, improving our heart health. And of course, it works on many levels, from reducing the stress, from improving our digestion, giving us a better feel-good factor because it improves our mood. So hence, Bhramari works beautifully on the mind, helps to release stress, anxiety, or getting rid of unnecessary tensions, helps us to manage our tensions better, helps us to heal our bodies better, helps us to, get better sleep. It's a very good way to handle insomnia. So let's all now get ready to practice Bhramari with all these wonderful benefits of Bhramari in mind. So how do you practice Bhramari? You're breathing in and out through the nostrils. As you breathe out today, we're going to practice the sound of the humming bee. As you breathe out, a gentle humming sound. So we will be keeping our hands in Padma Mudra, the right palm on the left, comfortably in your lap, with your back straight, sitting in a comfortable cross-leg pose. You can just watch me for one round, breathing in deep through the nostrils. And as you breathe out, the humming sound of the bee. This is Bhramari Pranayam. Let's all practice together, keeping the eyes closed. Be aware of the vibrations the Bhramari Pranayam creates within your head. A deep breath in. We will practice about 10 to 11 rounds of Bhramari. Continue. Practice the last 2 rounds. Keeping your eyes closed. Feel the after effect of Bhramari. The vibrations, calming your mind, healing your body. And we practice a few rounds of Om chanting. Om is a universal mantra. Once again, when we chant Om, the Makara, We breathe in deep, and for half our breath, we will chant the syllable O. And then we just close our mouth for the M sound. And this Makara, once again, helps to produce a lot of nitric oxide. And Om brings about a lot of peace and tranquility to our body and mind. You can keep your hands in Dhyana Mudra. Tip of the index finger touching the tip of the thumb, palms facing down on your knees. Take a deep breath in. Om. Practice 4 more rounds. Om. 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 One last round. Experience the vibrations of Om, harmonizing the whole body and mind. And now, once again, we will measure the breath. Our normal, natural breaths without manipulating the breath. Counting in and out together as one breath. Get ready. When I say start, you will start counting the breaths. Start. Stop the count. Make a mental note of the count. And later you can put it up on the chat. The beginning count at the beginning of the session and your breath count at the end. Just turn around and lie down for a small shavasana. Lying down on your mats, surrendering the whole body to the floor. Keeping distance between your feet, toes falling outwards. Hands slightly away from your body, palms facing the sky. Awareness to the whole body, consciously relaxing both the legs, from the toes to the hips, consciously relaxing both the hands, from your fingers right up to your shoulders. Feel the whole back sinking into the floor, relaxing each part of your back, the back of the neck, the back of the head, all your facial features. Relax the abdomen, chest, and throat. Think you're relaxing the heart, relaxing the brain. Feel a deep sense of relaxation in the whole body. Keep your awareness at the navel, observing the gentle rise and the fall of the navel with every breath. Slowly, let go of the breath awareness. Bring your awareness back to the body. Moving your fingers, toes, turn to one side. Taking support of your hands, sit up. Nicely rub your palms, generate a lot of warmth in your palms. Place them on your closed eyes, feeling the energy flow from your palms to your eyes. Feel pressed, feel energized as you open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushma.
And we can have some questions. Any queries from your behalf now?
So this was a little bit of a sample of how the pranayam workshop will be carried out. Today we had a lot more explanation, but every practice will be explained in detail. So when we understand the practice, ability to do the practice definitely is enhanced. And knowing the benefits of each practice, it helps us feel the practice is also deep within. If you have any other queries, you're welcome to ask. We start the sessions from coming Tuesday. It will be a workshop of 24 sessions, where we will take you right from the basics to the different variations of pranayam. And I think through the course, we take you through almost 60 to 70 different variations of pranayam with also revisions in between. So it will be a beautiful pranayam meditation journey as we go along.
Thank you, Megha.
Thank you.
So no
Good morning, ma'am.
questions? Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
teachers. It was very nice. As always.
As always. As
Thank
always.
you. Do you have a question, Shelley?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, so Tuesdays and Fridays, what time, ma'am? Morning?
7 to 8 a.m.
Oh, perfect, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, ma'am,
Some
if
of
we miss,
yeah.
ma'am, if we miss the session, in case, ma'am, can we get the, will be getting the recording or some, I mean that, ma'am?
Yes, yes. So we don't want you to miss any session because here we see you live also.
Okay.
And when you join the actual workshop, we will
Yes,
request
ma'am.
you keep your videos on. So, we may not be able to see your breath, but we can see a lot of body movements, which tell us many things about you. So keep your videos on. And
Okay,
if
ma'am.
you do miss a session, you can request us separately. We'll
Yes.
send you a recording because every class is going to be progressive. So if you miss a session, you are missing some component of the practice.
Correct.
So definitely we would encourage you to do all the sessions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Megha.
Megha, all your pranayams have been so good that they have given my personal experience. They have given me very good immunity during COVID. I have not got a single cold times. I've not got a cold or throat irritation, anything. I've been following them very diligently.
Thank
And
you,
I would
Tadasana,
suggest
for
that
sharing
everybody do this because it really is giving immunity against COVID.
This is going to start tomorrow, from tomorrow or next week, Tuesday?
Tuesday. It starts from Tuesday and the sessions will be Tuesday and Friday.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
you.
everyone.
It was
Thanks
nice.
for joining us in the morning.
Thank you, Megha. Thank you, Sushma.
Thank you. So we will be posting the payment details. We'll post a payment link. You can make payment through the link. It's 3,500 for 24 sessions. And you will be directly taken into the Pranayam group, which is actually the workshop group. This is just an orientation group. If some of you, I think, have already made payment, if you have made payment and you are not part of the group, please message Sushma or we will include, or me, we will include you in the Pranayam final workshop. Okay. Otherwise, you will be taken automatically there. Thank you, everyone. Hari Om. Thank you, Sushma.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megha.